everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well as I always do. This is the preview of West Ham's third away game of the 22-23 Premier League season, where we travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea, our second London derby this week. 3 o'clock kickoff, not live on any UK TV channel. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, guys. And as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's also Chelsea retro shirts as well. There's also Admiral and Umbro polo shirts, sweatshirts, t-shirts and track jackets, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly on to the charity called Iron Supporting Food Banks. The charity in the Newham area, they're helping those in the Newham area and farther afield into Essex itself to have those guys help themselves and put food on their tables. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt or a very nice polo, track jacket, t-shirt, whatever you want. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shops, and you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. So as always, guys, let's start off by talking about the officials. The referee for this game, unfortunately, is Andy Madley. Not as bad as his disgraced brother Bobby, but he's still a bit of a tosser. His assistants are Harry Leonard and Scott Ledger. The fourth official is Thomas Bramall. On VAR is the Aussie Jared Gillett, and his assistant is Konstantin Hatzidakis, the same assistant VAR that was for the Spurs game on Wednesday night. Our last 6 Premier League away trips to Stamford Bridge shows we've won 1, drawn 1 and lost 3. David Moyes' Premier League history away as a manager at Stamford Bridge shows he's won none, he's lost 10 and he's drawn 7. So not really, of course, the best of options for him from that point of view. Of course, this is Emerson's return to Stamford Bridge, as we got him a couple of weeks ago from Chelsea, which is fantastic. So he's going back there, obviously, as an opposing player. So hopefully the Chelsea fans will be respectful to him. What am I talking about? This is Chelsea. Nah, seriously, I'm sure the Chelsea fans are going to be very appreciative for the time that he was there. He was a very, very good player for Chelsea. Now, turning to Chelsea injuries, Kante is out with a hamstring issue until the beginning of October. It's pretty much the same as Aguerd for us. Loftus-Cheek is being assessed for a hamstring strain. Alonso is available due to not training ahead of his proposed move to Barcelona, which, as it stands at the time of this recording, hasn't happened yet. Reece James is 50% chance of returning due to illness, as is Scamacca, which we'll come on to in a little bit as well. Chalobah is also 50% chance of returning due to a knee injury. Conor Gallagher is back from a double yellow sending off against Leicester, so because he missed the Southampton mauling, quite frankly, is the best way to put it. Southampton were absolutely all over Chelsea on Tuesday night. One of the funniest games I've ever watched, bearing in mind Sterling put them ahead and then 2-1 just before the break, and bam, that's it, you know. And to be fair, you know, Southampton played well. They went at Chelsea, which again I'll go into in a minute. Well, more specifically for the Patreons. But as I say, Gallagher's back, so he should be available for this game. Very, very talented youngster, and potentially on his way to West Ham. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Of course, we'll do the live discussion of the transfer window at 11 o'clock once the window closes. But as it stands at the moment, we've been heavily linked with Conor Gallagher on a loan deal. So hope, you never know. Anyway, players to look out for. Obviously, their new signing from City, Sterling. We all know how difficult he can be to play against. Brozier and Gallagher, both also two players have been heavily linked with us over the weeks, and also they're all very heavily linked to Everton, but I don't think these moves are going to happen, at least to Everton anyway. We'll have to wait and see. Mendy is another git of a goalkeeper we need to get past. Reece James, if he's fit, he's very difficult. Azpilicueta, Kovacic, you name it. You name it. Kovacic played the second half of Southampton loss, so obviously he's been brought back into contention for fitness. Mount and Havertz as well were players we need to look out for. It's like the list is endless, guys. It genuinely is. So, as always, for those that are Patreons, we are now going to go into the extended version, and we'll do some Chelsea player analysis. If you're not a Patreon already and you want to watch these extended my analysis of the opposing teams and also our tactics away, then by all means, links in the description below, and also there's details at the end of the video as well. So basically, at the end of the day, if it's £2.50 plus VAT to be a squad player, sorry, academy player, and £3 plus VAT to become a starting 11 player, Patreon level, of course, which gives you full access to all these videos completely unedited. Well, obviously edited to cut out some of the mucking around I'm doing, but edited, unedited in that sense of the word. And also you get access to Dennis and AJ's columns on there as well. There's more stuff coming all the time on Patreon, trying to get more and more involved for you, to give you more bang for your buck, as the Americans say. But as I say, guys, let's now turn over to the Patreon player analysis. Right, just for you beautiful Patreons, let's talk about Chelsea. Okay, so as I said at the start of the video, Mendy is a bloody git of a goalkeeper to get past. Southampton proved he's got errors. They really did. Fofana, because he's a relatively new signing for Chelsea, I've got a funny feeling he's going to play. I don't know what his squad number is yet. There's no details as yet, especially on their website. It was awful going into enemy territory on their website to see what the numbers were. But yeah, I've no idea. I've got a funny feeling Fofana is a very good player. Is he worth the money they paid for Leicester? I don't think he is, but he is a cracking player. So I can see the reasons why they've done it. Obviously, Cucurella moved from Brighton recently as well, and so we've got Aspilicueta at right back, Koulibaly, or have you pronounced? Yeah, Koulibaly at defence, very difficult. Mason Mount in the midfield, as I said, player. Conor Gallagher, a man I absolutely respect when he was at Crystal Palace last season. I really hope we can get him. He'd be very good competition in the midfield. He really would. Jorginho again, good decent player. Sterling, I reckon is going to start up front again. Ziyech, very difficult player to get around. Havertz as well. But as I said, the reason why Southampton got 3 points against Chelsea, regardless of Chelsea's form at the minute, is because they did not stop. We have to attack them. We have to pull players like Fofana and Koulibaly out of position. We have to get Cucurella pissed off because he can be booked. He can be booked because he's got a bit of a temper as this geezer. He really does. Aspilicueta, we know is, for example, our left hand side of whoever we're going to see in the starting 11 prediction. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but whomever we've got down our left hand side and our right, for that matter, to keep both channels of Chelsea quiet, is just really going to have to work. Really going to have to work. And as a result of it, as I say, everybody needs to be in absolute top form to make sure we'll do it. So Mendy's got an error. He seems to be quite prone to balls just outside the box, and sometimes just inside the D as well. That seems to be his weakness that I've noticed over the last year or so. I hope we can exploit that. As I say, we've really got to keep Raheem Sterling quiet. I've got a funny feeling that our decent defenders are going to be able to do that. I mean, Kehrer, for example, has been, apart from the own goal, which we'll talk about in a minute, against Spurs, he's been an absolute stalwart. Bearing in mind, obviously, his first game against Brighton, that was Zuma's fault. He put him in that position. Zuma again. Anyway, sorry. So we've really got to keep. We've got to really keep our eye on Chelsea for this. So the 4-3-3 they'll easily switch round into sort of like a 4-3-2-1 sort of formation like that as well, for that matter. They've got the players to do it. That's the decent thing about teams like Chelsea. They've got a lot of players that can play 3 or 4 different positions at any one given time. And that's the great thing about their side. The annoying thing about their side from an opposition fan point of view, but from a pure football fan point of view, is brilliant. And we're getting that with West Ham as well. But anyway, we'll talk about that later tonight when the transfer window closes. But guys, let's now jump back on to the normal part of the video for everybody else. So turning to West Ham, good point at home on Wednesday night against Spurs. Although we should have won it, we should have been at least 2 or 3-1, and we were the better team. The first half was abysmal. As I say, I've gone through that in the full-time thoughts. Very impressed with Kehrer once again. Reminds me of a very young Winston Reid when we had him in his 2nd or 3rd season with us, in the right place at the right time, making some brilliant clearances. Yes, okay, it was an own goal by Kehrer. There was nothing much he could have done. He was trying not to concede it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But from that point of view, unbeaten in the last 2, unbeaten in 4 games out of 7 that we've played so far, including Europa Conference League. So that's, you know, there's a lot of positives that we can take going into this game. You know, Chelsea aren't in exactly the best run of form either, but they're always jammy little gits to play against. We know that. But injury rise, Scamacca had a virus after the Villa game, which is why he missed out on the Spurs game, but should be okay for this Chelsea game at the time of this recording, but he is currently being assessed. No other real injury news updates at this point. Obviously it was great to see Ogbonna getting some more game time over the weekend. Against Spurs, and also against Villa as well in the away game over the weekend. But this is the starting 11 that I think we should be putting out against Chelsea. Areola in goal, with a back three of Kehrer, Zouma and Ogbonna. Soufal and Emerson as the wing backs, with Rice, Fornals and Benrahma in midfield, supporting Bowen and Scamacca up front. Okay, so again, for you Patreons, this is the analysis of what I think we should be doing. If everybody is fit, this is the starting 11 that I would like us to see. Right, so again, Areola in goal. I just think it will play a bit more, it will give a bit more for Chelsea than we need than Fabianski. Fabianski was very slow with his distribution on Wednesday night against Spurs. We need that life and vigour in the goal. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, Fabianski, don't get me wrong. Really, really good. But it's just missing something. As I said, you know, Kerr has been playing absolutely brilliantly for us. You know, bar the couple of mistakes here and there, which, to be fair, as I said, wasn't his fault. It's other players that caused him to make those mistakes. But I think he's been brilliant. Zouma was really redeemed. It was a little bit shaky against Spurs, but Zouma is definitely in the back three for me, and as I say, and definitely as is Ogbonna. We shouldn't have Creswell anywhere near at the moment. He's really, really bad. He stepped up like when everybody else stepped up on Wednesday night, but other than that, not really. Soufal as wing back once again. Nice ball. You know, he makes some nice runs into the box as he did last night. And again, you know, it's just he is getting better. And I know a lot of people still don't like him, but he is getting better. You know, Emerson, I think will play very, very well. Again, running down the left-hand side. It was a bit weird not to include him, but maybe the reason why he wasn't playing against Spurs was because Moyes is resting him for the Chelsea game. Benrahma, again, just needs to step up a little bit further than he did last night. It's not to his detriment in any shape or form, because loads of other players weren't stepping up in the first half, but he's made some good runs. Declan Rice had a sensational second half. I know the loads of stats have been floating around today, but I don't think that's taken in consideration everything he did in the first half. You know, we all have off days. You know, he's got a new kid, etc., etc. So, you know, but as I say, with Fornals, again, I wouldn't be at all surprised if these two were swapping around in these positions, or maybe all three. You know, Benrahma could be out there at some point, sitting behind Bowen, and Rice running through, trying to get balls into the box. It's possible. I doubt it, but it's very, very possible. As I say, Bowen could be, again, sitting back like that with Scamacca if he's starting. We all know Antonio's going to be starting, but I personally want Scamacca in it. I really, really do. But yeah, those two seem to complement themselves very, very well. And of course, if we have Paqueta come on again as a substitute, I think with Scamacca, Benrahma, Paqueta, if Cornet comes on, those four together will cause Chelsea a lot of problems, especially if we're either at the break. Excuse me, we're at the break of a 0-0, and also if we're conceding, we conceded a goal. Those four together, I think, would be unbelievably good, But as it stands at the minute, it's a very, very difficult decision to make for Moyes, and for yourselves as well, for that matter. But as always, guys, put your comments in the comment section down on Patreon. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you agree that we should be going with this? Now, as I said, you know, Chelsea got a 4-3-3 formation, so us going into this 3-2-3-2 formation, or a 5-3-2, whichever way you want to look at it, will really benefit, because obviously we'll have Ogbonna, Zouma and Kehrer sitting a lot deeper than they were beforehand, as they should do, for that matter. I mean, obviously Zouma's going to try and bounce around, trying to go a few places. Ogbonna will be very, very handy for corners. you know, Antonio screwed that corner up last night, as far as I'm concerned, towards the death of the game. But I do genuinely think that this would be the perfect formation to exploit all the weaknesses you've got at the 4-3-3, because you've got 5 players going at 6 midfielders, 3 midfielders and 3 centre forwards. You've got 5 defenders bombing in to help out as well, for that matter, whilst keeping some of the back, especially with Emerson. You know, you can definitely be up supporting these guys. And so can Soufal, to be actually sitting around about there sort of thing. So I think it's a very, very good idea if we're going to do this, because going back to the 4-2-3-1 of the, I hate to say it, Allardyce years type that it was last night, a big mistake from Moyes' point, from my point of view, for Moyes. But at the same point, guys, let me know what you're thinking, and let's resume the rest part of this video. So thank you very much for your time, guys. As always, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you agree with the starting 11 that I've gone for? And if not, put your comments down, put your formations down as well. Nobody's commenting at the minute, apart from the odd one in here. So come on, guys, put your comments. And not a huge amount of you guys are watching it, so that's fine, that's cool. But I know you're watching it nonetheless, and I know that you've got ideas, so put your ideas in the comment section below. As always, like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so. At the time of this recording, we are 2,149 subscribers, just one away from 2,150. So guys, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. As I say, we will have the watch along on Saturday afternoon from 2:30, including we'll also include having some guests to come on. So if anybody wants to come onto the channel, give you full time, your pre-match thoughts and also your post-match thoughts as well. By all means, you're more than welcome, because at the end of the day, this is what this channel's all about. It's about fan interaction, and it's making it you guys part of the channel, which is exactly what you are. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you. And of course, guys, thank you very much to Sam Cousins, who's subscribed over the last few days. Thank you very much, Sam, much appreciated. In the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. All the best.